All right, welcome back to Blue by 90, presented by Feldman Chevrolet of Highland. I'm Justin, joined by Tanner, and we are, I'm not good at math, but what are we, like 72 hours, 96 hours, something like that.
So it's Wednesday. So this week is always hard to keep track of the days because you're working.
I mean, it's a holiday. It's hard to know. Like, I'll be honest. I mean, if you're a Michigan fan out there and you've done much work, I applaud you. But for me, it's been mostly just watching highlights of the last four games. So that's what you should be doing this week. But we're hours away from the game on Saturday. I don't know how many hours, but technically we are hours away.
We're always hours away from something.
That's true. Yeah, I'm excited. But I mean, shout out Nolan. He's been sending all the graphics and like recap videos, highlights from the past 4 years in our group chat, and I've just been watching every single one of them. I'm ready. It's here, baby. It's so here. Where's your head at? Now there's been a little rivalry banter going on all week on social media. Where are you at?
I still feel, on the previous podcast we did, I feel that Michigan's going to win. I don't have I have some reasons. They're mostly vibes based, but I just feel like they come to play in the biggest games, and this is the biggest game, right? One thing that, last year they got beat in a couple big time matchups, right? In Ann Arbor against Texas and Oregon. But I just felt that at the end of the year, Schroeder coached his best. The team played their best. Wink coached his best game, called his best game. And so now you have, Chip Lindsey as the offensive coordinator, I assume going to kind of follow suit with those guys. I just got a feeling, man, and I feel good. And I could be completely wrong, but I just have this sense that team's going to come ready to play. They're going to tighten the rotation on defense, get their first. I mean, that's the only explanation for the rotation all year long, is that you have fresh legs for Saturday at noon, right?
It is. And so for me, I just want to let you know, I'm setting the tone now. The tone now for Saturday. A lot of people are asked if you go in, if you go into the facility, into Schembechler Hall, it's up there all year long, but it's definitely up there this week of what are you doing to beat Ohio State today? Well, today I'm going to crack open a little Blue by 90 beer right here on the pod.
Yeah.
If you can hear that crack there. Nice, crisp. I'm going to start drinking now. I think it's Wednesday night.
Are you keeping it going?
Maybe we just keep it going until Saturday. I mean, I think that in order for this team to perform at its highest level, I have to perform at my highest level, and that means I got to get up, get early, get after it early, and often, and we're gonna just get it going right now.
Look, I'll tell you, I've had some text of like, "What are you doing, Blackout Wednesday?" I'm like, "Brother, I'm 30." You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't really drink like that anymore, except Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like, I keep telling people, like, "Oh man, I'm past that. I don't do that much." Like, we didn't talk about it because we had conflicts and stuff the week after the Northwestern game. But you guys all went to Sluggers. I don't know if Nolan told you. We were in line at 2 minutes, and I was like, "Brother, I'm out of here." Right? It was too much for me. So I always say I'm past my prime. But when it comes to tailgating for this game, I'm back in my prime.
Also, by the way, that line literally took 5 minutes.
It wasn't so much that, it was just there was a million people, and I just was like, bro, it
was chaotic for sure. I will say though, like it's Wednesday night right now. We're recording this right before Thanksgiving.
We're so washed, by the way.
So washed.
5 years ago, be out drinking, running into people.
I would have been texting every friend from high school to be like, all right, where are we going tonight? We're going to stay out. I'm going to feel like absolute shit tomorrow morning. Try to just make it through a Thanksgiving dinner. watched the Lions lose. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
now things are different. Frank now is back.
Frank is back.
Frank is back.
I don't know if he's playing tomorrow, but
if he just comes back tomorrow, like it comes out of that tunnel, that will be the most electric thing of all time in Ford Field.
Well, and you got to think too, like these guys are a different breed. We see Chris Wormley, shout out Stadium and Main Pod, but we see Chris around, and I'm like, this guy still play, man.
He literally is. He's with the Colts right now. But
wait, did I miss that?
Are you serious,
dude?
You didn't get the memo?
Wow, no, I never saw that officially happened. This guy's still putting out content, man. This guy's a grinder.
They're recording tonight with I
missed it. I didn't see it, man. That's embarrassing. So I knew tough. That was a possibility. So shout out to Big Worm, man. Obviously
he's been in a hotel in Indy for like 2 weeks now.
Oh my gosh, man.
So shout out to Worm. I believe hopefully it works out tonight, but the plan is to have Brandon Graham on the Stadium and Main Pod with Worm and Strack. So that will be an electric episode if they're able to snag him. But yeah, man, to get back to it, my plan is not to do a blackout Wednesday. So when I say I'm going to start drinking now, that means I'm going to have like a handful of beers throughout each day to get to Saturday.
Acclimate yourself.
And then Saturday morning, this is my plan. So I'm going to get there. I'm going to try to hold off as long as possible to like really start drinking, which has been my strategy lately, which I think helps because come like 10:30, 11 o'clock, you can guarantee I will have a bottle of Woodson whiskey in my hand, and I will be trying to get everybody that's within like a 100-yard radius of me to take a shot with me. That will be my whole plan.
You got to make sure you keep that radius small. We're very close to the stadium. We don't want to get it. You know what I mean? So
you can get it up in the club level, So yeah.
I got my ticket, man. I ordered it during our last podcast on Sunday. I'm so stoked. And, the weather. I love Ohio State fans who are like, oh, they're just begging for. No, dude, I think football in the snow is awesome. We don't get snow at the Big House a lot. We had the Indiana game, and even the 2021 game was like flurries, kind of sleet, I mean, come on. You can't tell me that when Cornelius Johnson, even if take away Michigan, Ohio State, just Cornelius Johnson making that catch right before half, sliding, and you could just see where his body was on the turf in the snow. That snow games are the best. Like the Lions, when they played, I think it was the Eagles in like 2013, and Calvin Johnson's face mashes had snow.
That's like the greatest video of all time.
And the Lions lost that game. Don't care. It was awesome. So I want the cold. I ordered a little like a hood, like an Under Armour, cold gear hood. I'm soft, man. I gotta be warm. Kinda, a little bit. It pulls up. So
I think to your point with that too, like I think there two things can be true. Like we can just want snow football because snow football is awesome. I also think like I'm not ashamed to say that the snow gives us an advantage and I want that for my team. That doesn't make me soft and like that I don't want to just play them no matter what. But if I can get an advantage, I want an advantage. Why would I not want that?
Yeah. Like if Michigan had natural grass, I hope that they would, keep it very tall.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that just in general, like it's like, you know what? Get tougher. You know what? Both teams have to play in the same conditions, right? Like try to run the football, man. I don't know. I'm not like I saw Mr. Ohio who I like Mr. Ohio. I think he's a normal human being and like he can dish it and take it and like have fun with it without like, I don't know, doxing somebody or like being a psychopath like some of those Ohio State fans.
Your family.
And Michigan fans, I'll be honest. Like everyone's got them, right?
I see some stuff a lot and I'm like, bro, we gotta relax.
Yeah. But I will say I did laugh. I don't know if you saw, but Dave Portnoy, Prez,
I did see. Yeah, he
called out a bunch straight at him, which was fucking awesome.
That's got to be pretty cool, though, right? Like, regardless of the rivalry, like, Dave, somebody of that stature, tweeting at you over some banter has got to be pretty fun.
Yeah, so good. All right. So I think that I'm ready. I'm just ready for Saturday. I
Yeah.
think that the snow, the cold, I was out in it today. It was I drove by the stadium and it was like there were flurries for sure and the wind was whipping, and I just want to tell everybody, be ready. It is like I'll say two things. One, it's not very enjoyable to just like, it's not 70 and sunny. Like if I'm talking of just like enjoying the, standing there, not that enjoyable. But you get football into it and I'm like, fuck yeah, I love
You don't
this.
think about it. Like when you're there in the
No.
cold, like you just deal with it. I mean, as long as you have like, because like cold games, I always wear gloves. I got the 3M Michigan gloves from the MDen one year because the gloves I had were just not waterproof and got soaked from the Nebraska game when it was like snowing, but it would melt on your glove. It was awful.
Yep.
But as long as you got all that double layered, I'm ready to lose my voice. There's a different intensity as a fan in this game when you're at the stadium too, because you yell with a little more like raspiness, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm going to lose my voice."
For
That happened to
sure.
me in 23. Fully expecting that to happen, and I hope that there's a lot for Michigan fans to be excited about and cheering and yelling and just being loud on every down when you said it's not 70 degrees and sunny. That's the average weather, I think, of Carlsbad, California. So, I know it's funny how we talk about Ohio State, by the way, where it's like they have snow and stuff, but it's like this built-in advantage for Michigan.
It's like 3 hours away of a
Yeah,
drive.
yeah. But, Michigan's quarterback's from Detroit, from Belleville, and their
Yeah.
quarterback's from Carlsbad, California.
I think it's not about like what they endure or like where they're from or whatever. It's a mindset. It is truly a mindset where I think, I put out the touchdown today in Columbus from 2022, which actually that day was supposed to be like shitty weather all morning. We got there like 7 a.m. to Columbus, and it was like 25 degrees. Everyone thought it was going to be like terrible. There was snow and rain in the forecast. It ended up being literally like 50 degrees and sunny
Yeah,
all
it
day.
was super
It was
nice. I remember on
unbelievable.
TV.
So
Yeah.
that's another thing that makes me laugh when people talk about the weather. Anyways, I put out the touchdown where JJ just literally, it was like the call was Denard left, essentially. JJ left.
Yeah, QB
He
power.
runs right by Trevor Keegan and gets in. And it's just like that to me was like, that's still the mantra of Michigan, where it's just like, we're not going to be sexy. We're not going to do anything crazy. Yeah, there might be some tricks up our sleeve at some times, and we're going to throw the ball. I'm sure the Macaulay or the Underwood to Marsh connection will be moving this week too. But like we can just run through your face if we want to. And I think that's going to be plan number one on Saturday. No,
I think so. I mean, Ohio State's defense is, the top 5 in college football, right? Their front seven's really good. And obviously, the talk about Caleb Downs is one of the best players in college football. That's 100% true. Dude's a stud.
Yep.
But I think when it comes to Michigan in the run game, I think the offensive line, even though there's 3 redshirt freshmen that are starting, and you've got a couple fifth-year guys in there with El Hadi and Crippen, I think the thing about them being freshmen is that physically they're still developing, as an offensive lineman. It just takes a different level of physicality. And so they've been so good with their assignments that they've been able to move guys pretty easily throughout this season, especially as like we got to October. And even against Nebraska too, you kind of started to see it. But I think the physical limitations might show up a bit in the run game, but I do think that with how they've been able to just play mistake free, get to their assignments, I'm hoping that that's going to be enough for Marshall to be able to bust some runs. And because he can break a tackle if he's one-on-one and you block it right, he breaks a tackle, he might be gone. Yeah. Right. So, no, obviously we know no Justice Haynes this week, which is unfortunate.
I would love especially in this game, like the ability of Justice Haynes to break one is so awesome.
Especially because their red zone defense is, I mean, they talk about it all the time, but it's true. It's super damn good.
Yeah.
Like they tighten up when you get goal to go. So that's the one thing with Chip, that he's got to have some stuff that he feels really comfortable with and Bryce feels comfortable with in the the red zone. And as you get inside the 10, you got to find ways to pay off drives. You can't, have to either go for it on fourth or kick a field goal.
That's how we've beaten them outside of last year, which was just an anomaly of a game. But every other year, it's been we score touchdowns and hold them to field goals. That has been how we, because it's definitely a bend but don't break situation, right? Like the reality of Ohio State's offense is you're probably just not going to just like completely lock them down unless you're Mason Graham and you just, bully them, even though they won the national, the national championship offense. Like we had like 4 guys just bully them all day for 60 minutes. It's still the funniest thing to ever happen in the history of sports.
Yeah, it's up there. I also think Michigan State having 14 wins over 3 seasons vacate is pretty funny too.
Also,
so that's a tough toss up.
Very funny.
But yeah, I mean, to your point though, and that's what everyone always says when I this week I'm talking to people or, people are asking me how I'm feeling. I'm like, no, I feel pretty good. They're like, well, you don't have Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. Like, yeah, no, Michigan doesn't. But I think what they've done throughout the season and if it pays off, then I'm going to take back everything I said about like the rotation. But if they're able to just have guys go 95% of snaps, they're their best players. I would feel really good if we could get Derek Moore on the field for 65 to 70 snaps or whatever it's going to be on Saturday. Same with Barham and Guy and Houseman. I don't know. It seems like he's going to play. So
I have no idea on that situation, and the tweets make it all the more interesting and weird. And I'm just like, what is going on? But
thank God Cole Sullivan and Jimmy Rolder have been able to, step up, because at the beginning of the year it was Barham and Houseman. And Rolder was kind of rotating in, and then Houseman or Barham went down to the edge. He's kind of a hybrid player, and so you have Rolder get more snaps and has played really good this year. And Cole Sullivan obviously kind of coming into his own as a redshirt freshman. So thank goodness for those guys.
Yeah, and so I mean, I actually, the one thing I wanted to bring up for Ernest was, did you see the one tweet reply to his tweet where he did his whole thing where he was talking about his faith and whatever, which is cool. And I don't want to I'm not trying to make fun of that, but the one tweet reply to it was like, do you, I got to pull it up because
was it the message board post?
No, it was.
We got to talk about that too.
It was somebody, I think it was Michigan Wings. He responded and he was like, do you think that you have faith to run through an Ohio State Buckeyes chest on Saturday? It was the perfect reply. It was.
I got to find the one, and I'm looking on Message Board Geniuses, which is just a fantastic follow. There was here. So earlier this week, somebody from the Bucknuts 247 page, which is always, I really hope I go on. If I visit that website Saturday about 3:30, Justin, that means some good things have happened. Let me just say that. But I just had it up. So recently starting Teton, linebacker Houseman misspelled, has come out and said that he has miracle powers and that people can't necessarily see it. Has taken a questionable step back from football the last couple of weeks as well. This has been around the same time that Smith and Tate have become mysteriously injured. Do we think this is just a coincidence? Or did one of their players, he's put if instead of of, did one of their players put a magical curse on our star receivers? Now, in their defense, at the time of the screenshot, it had 14 downvotes. But that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, that is
it's got to be a troll, right?
I was just gonna say, is that somebody that is so in the message boards that they're actually being dead serious, or
Brohio actually probably is who it is. There's also a funny one that gets bumped every so often, where there was it was before 2021, and it was something about Michigan fans saying that Ohio State had their signs, and all the Ohio State commenters were like, "Who cares? Just beat us." Blah blah blah. Very, very funny message board over there at Bucknuts, man. They got and their staff is, we're big fans of Dave Biddle over here.
I mean,
is that check due yet, Justin? I don't know.
At some point I guess he's probably doing it to get the rage bait clicks too from Michigan fans, or just even you're so okay with Michigan fans making fun of you because you just are a whore for clicks.
He doesn't even have Twitter Blue, brother. He just shit posts for the love of the game. He's not even getting paid $12.17 a month off of it.
That's crazy. But okay, so hold on. I found the Ernest one. It was, are you from Michigan Wings? Shout out Michigan Wings. Solid account. Are you wearing a helmet and pads next Saturday to drive the Spirit of the Lord right through a Buckeye's chest?
That's a pretty good.
Great response. No, that was good. I mean, Ohio State, like, I gotta almost like give their media members like credit of like to still stand up and talk some shit and say like, oh, this is the year. Like I hate to even give him the light, but Big F was on the show with Dave today, and they asked him, like, Big Cat was talking to him and everybody they were asking him like, okay, well, you can't like say like there's zero chance that Michigan wins this year because like last year there pretty much was zero chance and they still won. So you can't go ahead and say like you're not nervous at all, or like because like there has to be in the back of their mind, like, again, I'm with you on like I feel somewhat confident, but I have no idea what's going to happen. And like there is plenty of nervousness and doubt in my mind for Saturday. There's no doubt about that. For them, like, how after the last 4 years, and specifically the last year in 2024, how do they sit there and still say like, no, we're going to kick the shit out of them? It's a guarantee. Like, I have zero doubt in my mind about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, at some point, Ohio State is going to beat Michigan in football, right? At some point in the future. It's just going to happen.
Yep.
And so then it's like, does he get like Dave Biddle's going to take a victory lap because it's like you tweeted the same thing for 4 straight years. Yeah, like, do you get a cookie for that? So the other thing I question specifically when it comes to Big Ev, who after last year's Michigan Ohio State game posted a video. I think he was probably visiting his family. She's probably his parents' house in like in front of a driveway, just dead inside. Oh. Like, might have cried, his tear ducts might have been dry at that point. And then when they won the national championship, he switched up and was like, oh, that little scrimmage. What? So do they care about it or not? I don't know.
I can't tell if they care about this game or not because they're talking a lot about this game this week.
Yeah, like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter after they, won basically the NIT. That's what college football is now, Justin. It's just the NIT.
It's just, yeah. They won a few games. Well, and also a lot of them called it the greatest run in college football history.
Yeah, you just got to win 4 games.
Winning those 4 games in the playoff. It was the longest run in the playoff history because the playoff started last year. The extended playoff started last year. But to call it the greatest run right after you lost to the worst Michigan team in quite some time.
Yeah.
I just, there's a lot of conflicting things.
I mean, I can think of a better run. 2023 Michigan beat Ohio State. They beat Iowa, who probably is equivalent to Tennessee. And then they beat Nick Saban's Alabama, and they beat Washington. So they beat number 2 at the time, whatever Iowa was ranked, number 4 and number 2 in a 4-week span.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't hear any losses in that.
No,
run.
Sorry. You got to throw a fit after they plant the flag. Like, it's a whole thing, man. We wouldn't understand.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I forgot about that. Okay.
Yeah. We got to protect the turf, though, man. So this one means a little bit more.
We do have to protect the turf.
Are we going to get out there on the field and risk, getting arrested if that goes down?
That's a great question. I do think that's something that I haven't fully thought about yet. Because I haven't really comprehended a Michigan loss yet.
No, I just meant, like, if Michigan wins, are they still going to try to plant the flag to get their get back? Because like normally they don't do anything in the 60 minutes in the game.
True.
And so then it's like after the fact, that's when they want to rip
Jack
it out
Sawyer
of
just does Jack Sawyer just like pop out and he's like, I've got the flag and try to
man, I mean, I think they got a home game against I think the Bills in Pittsburgh. That's a quick little flight, right? So he could probably be there.
Yeah. I will say what's okay. In this is a bad scenario for us. So I'm gonna just preface it with that. In a possible loss for Michigan, and that they're going to try to do something. They're going to try to plant 100%. The flag.
But it doesn't mean that much. And they act like they've been there before too, Justin. You got to remember that.
Correct. So they're going to do that. Then that video is going to be reposted by every big account from Ohio State, and they're going to flaunt it in the same breath as when they literally cried about it last year. Like literally we watched an Ohio State player cry about it. Actually, an Ohio State legend, according to some.
Yeah, that's kind of
no gold pants. No gold pants legend.
Yeah, man.
All right. I feel
like
we've
gone off the rails here, but this is what this game's about. But this is the stupid shit that makes this rivalry amazing.
Yeah.
And there is a mutual respect, I think, between fans. At least I hope there is, that like we got to be a part of it. Right? Like all that Iron Bowl, I don't care. I saw people who were like, oh, national champs in the Iron Bowl in the last 15 years. 8. Yeah, no shit. Alabama had 7 of them. Right. Don't care about Cam Newton's Mickey Mouse run. Cam Newton was a god that year, by the way. But
they can have that one, but it doesn't mean that it's like that's like, the funny things where they're like, me and Michael Jordan combined for, 1,000 points in this year. It's like Michael Jordan had 999. I got 1.
Yeah. Right? It's like when they do that with Kobe and Kwame Brown. Like,
right. Yeah.
With Kwame, like,
so this podcast is exactly what happens. And I'm going to crack my second beer. This is what happens and will happen on Saturday when you start drinking and you start talking about Michigan, Ohio State, because it just gets very petty.
Honestly, if you were to follow more so you, but either one of us around at a tailgate, you're just pulled in so many different directions. You just have like 1,000 different conversations. And that's kind of what our podcast is, truly.
It literally is. We just, sometimes I am Michael Scott, where I just start a sentence and I just see where it goes. I have no idea where it's going to end.
Yeah, Jordan Strack sent me his PDF of like their prep, and I was like, brother, what is this?
Never seen this before.
And then I used it for one of our podcasts that week because it was, a lot of the stats around the game, and I was like, this is super helpful, but I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to wing it. And look at,
actually, this is amazing. This is awesome prep. I'm not going to do any of it, actually.
Yeah, this is fantastic, Jordan. Good for you, man.
All right. Let's pivot for a quick second before we can get back to talking about the game. But Michigan hoops, Dusty May is, I mean, a wagon. They're a wagon, a legit wagon.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, so Monday night, 10:30 tip. I'm a cranky old man, and man, was I happy to watch that game. I mean, I think I finally put the iPad down, went to bed at the U4 timeout in the second half. But man, their defense is just ridiculous. And, they beat Auburn, excuse me. They beat Auburn last night, 102-72. They were up 59-31 at half. And I think kind of started to take the foot off the gas a little bit, because that game, I mean, that thing was out of hand, dude. I mean, it was I don't know the last time I've seen a Michigan team do that. Like, I think there were some times with the 2012, 2013, the team was in the Final Four at the championship game. There were times that they did that to like ranked teams. Like I remember going into Minnesota, beating the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But that was crazy.
Well, I will say this, like my thought process while watching that game last night, both nights really, was like, anywhere you looked on the court for Michigan, and I feel like Auburn felt this, is like, who are you going to attack? Like, you're not going to attack Yaks. You're not going to attack Morris Johnson. You're not going to attack Ade Mara. Like, where are you turning to? Like, and then
they switch everything, man. Like, they're so athletic that like almost everybody can switch. I mean, in KenPom, they jumped all the way to number 4. I think they were 15th before the game on Monday against San Diego State. And so now they're 4th. They're number 1 in defensive rating, number 19 in offensive rating. I think that the 3 big lineup, they're starting to figure out how to play together because you're starting to see a little bit more cohesion with that unit because they went away from that. And then for this tournament, they've gone back to it. So, yeah, Yaxel is a stud. I mean, that dude is.
We finally saw him put it all together. Like, I think we all knew that was going to come.
In this game 6 or 7? Like,
these guys never. I mean, outside of the off season, they've literally not played real games together. So that's obviously part of what happens when you put together essentially a portal team. But it's the world of college basketball today, right? And Yax is. He definitely put it all together last night, just drilling threes outside, got to the rim. The thing that I noticed with both him and Morez is those guys just absorb contact like it's nothing. They go to the rim, absorb the contact, and it's almost an and one every time.
Yeah, I mean, Yaxel, he had that a couple times last night, but dude, just listen to his stat line. In 27 minutes, by the way. So 17 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. I mean, Morris Johnson had 15 points. He only missed 1 shot. He had 5 boards, 3 assists, a block. Dude, and they started to hit some threes last night too. I mean, they shot 40% from 3. Trey was 3 of 6. So you just start to see some of these guys. Can we shout out Roddy Gale, by the way?
I mean, what a redemption story. I want to give him his props for not just turning it in. He had it rough, early last year. Ended up playing well down the stretch for Michigan in some big moments, but go ahead.
I mean, dude, I'm looking down. I mean, Namari had a great game. Things kind of started to you could tell it was going to happen for him soon. We've seen too much of him at Michigan to know that he's going to be able to get his. But also shout out LJ Kaysen because he had a rough patch against San Diego State that kind of let them back into the game. He had some turnovers, some missed shots. Dude, you knew it was Michigan's night when he shoots the 3. It hits off the in between the backboard and the flat part of the rim. It just sticks in, right? You're all right, I'll take that lucky bounce. So yeah, man. I mean, just defensively, the effort. These guys are physical. The rebounding. I mean, Michigan had 35 defensive boards. That was as many offense and defensive boards as Auburn had. And they had 16 O boards. They just were out-efforting them all night.
I think, a couple funny things about it. Obviously, Bruce Pearl being literally on the call when he was the coach.
I watched it on mute, man.
3 months ago.
That's insane.
It was a wild thing that they did.
How was that? Because I watched it on mute.
I watched it on mute as well, which is funny because we had shout out Stranger Things. We had Stranger Things going on the big TV. I was watching it on the smaller TV on mute. But just wild that they had that going on. And so, but I think people I know it's obviously now his son is coaching, so it's not Bruce Pearl anymore. But that Auburn team, I know they don't have Janai Broom, but they were in the Final Four last year. They obviously beat Michigan to get there, but they were unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's that Michigan just put them away like they were a mid-major team in an early non-conference game.
Well, did you see the clip Ant posted of Pettiford talking trash, I think over the offseason, saying how they beat every Big Ten team by 40? It was kind of nice to see that after the fact. Because he killed us in the Sweet 16, right? So, fair play to him. But, man, I mean, this team, I'm excited, man. So this will go out Thursday morning on Thanksgiving. So we have no idea if Michigan's going to win. We could, copy part of my take and be like, oh, hey, Michigan won, or oh, hey, Michigan lost, right? That kind of thing. So I don't know much about Gonzaga. I know they've always been a really good program in my life under Mark Few. So this should be a fun game. It's only at 9:30 tip, Justin, so I'm not going to be as cranky. And,
And Thanksgiving. You don't have to
True.
fully like.
I
I
got to
don't
get
know
up
what.
and throw the bird on the smoker though, man. So I
Yeah.
got to get up early, but then maybe I'll crack a cold one. Maybe I'll
I
crack a
mean,
Blue Banana beer.
it is. I love that. It's a day that like it's never too early to start drinking for sure.
That's true.
I will say this: like whether Michigan wins or loses this game, I still think that like, I mean, what a job already by Dusty May to put this together. I want to give our friends at Champion Circle a little shout out too. I know I won't name names over there, but there've been a couple guys who've been like working their ass off in the off season to get the NIL money to make this happen. And like I'll tell you what, it wasn't cheap to go get a Yaxel Lendeborg. I'll say that. And and the rest of these guys, like they put together in after Dusty had been on the job for 12 months, and obviously it went well in year one, but like they have an unbelievable lineup and went and got guys in the portal like only 12 months into his coaching job.
Yeah, well, I think I had this thought last night as I was watching Michigan just absolutely smoke Auburn. I mean, it's just not even close.
Yeah.
But like at a certain point, I was like, oh, this is like fully like weaponized Michigan with NIL, like, and the coach actually wants to use it, right? Because we talked with Jared about the difference between Sharon and Jim. Now in college football, it just takes a little bit more time, right? Like you can't just go buy these guys in the portal and play them
There's
in
100 some
basketball,
guys on the team. Yeah.
right? So, but it's like, okay, this is like, and it's early in the season and they're different sports, but it's like, no, this is how Michigan can compete consistently and be at the top of the conference and in the country, is with the ability to go and get the best players through name, image, and likeness. So
But
that was a thought that popped across my head last night.
I love that. And I also want to say too, here's where like, yes, Michigan Michigan has a lot of alums and influential people that want to give to NIL. Where I'll give Dusty May and the Champion Circle guys on the hoop side the props. It's not that easy to say, no, give to Michigan basketball instead of Michigan football, right? Like that's not the easiest ask.
And you have hockey too, right? Like that's I think different than some other schools and you have women's basketball too, right? So,
Yeah.
For Michigan, you have 4 pretty major sports that are kind of jockeying for those donations. And so it's all to Michigan, but it's like, how do you figure that out? So I think Champion Circle's done a great job with that. Obviously had an opportunity to speak with some of those guys in Chicago and just the work that they're putting in, knowing they're doing everything they can to keep Michigan at the top is awesome. And in Dusty May's case, in Michigan basketball's case, get them back to the top because there was a rough couple of years there. And what he did last year with that team, I'm just super excited. I mean, the turnovers have already cut down quite a bit. I'm sure that's been an emphasis. So, last year they never cut down, Justin. Like they never were like under 19 a game. It felt like, and so I think they had 9 last night. I think they had 12 against San Diego State. Like you can do something with those numbers. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for this Gonzaga game tonight, though.
Yeah.
Moot point for people listening to this because it'll already have happened, but I hope they win.
But I'll also 2 shout outs I want to give out. Feldman Chevrolet of Highland and Woodson Whiskey.
Yes.
Both of them are contributing to Michigan's NIL. Feldman has helped out a bunch of guys with cars and more and partnered with a lot of these Michigan student athletes. Woodson Whiskey, on the other hand, also contributing because if you go get the Champion Circle bottle, limited edition bottle of Woodson Whiskey, a portion of that goes to the NIL. So
you need to drink bourbon.
I mean, literally a win-win. I don't know if you're a Michigan fan, there's not more of a win-win that you could have.
It warms you up in the cold.
All right. Let's wrap this up by turning our attention back to this game on Saturday because I just can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But where is this game won/lost for you on both sides on Saturday?
Yeah, I think for Michigan, it's mistake-free football. It's paying off drives in the red zone. And then it's just trying to limit Ohio State as much as you can in between the 20s. And then when they get inside the 20, just trying to do what they've done the last few years and force them to a field goal attempt. And we've seen some misses from them over the years too when it comes to that. So just find a way to get off the field any means necessary. I think in terms of where Michigan loses is the turnovers. It's Jeremiah Smith going for $150 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it's maybe an inability to stop the run. We've talked a lot about Ohio State's ability or lack thereof this year to run, but if you let them get going, you got to find a way to stifle the run game. Otherwise, I think it just opens so many things up for them, and it's going to be really tough. It's going to put your linebackers in a lot of pressure and conflict. So, yeah, those are kind of both ways where I see this thing kind of shaping out.
Yeah, I've got a couple things as well. I think most of them are like right along the same lines as you. One is when Ohio State gives you opportunities, you have to take advantage of them. Like if they fumble the football anywhere, I watched that Rutgers game last week. Ohio State fumbled on the 1 yard line and Rutgers went 3 yards total and 3 and out, right? Like you can't do obviously that, but when they do make the very few mistakes that they make, you have to take advantage. And also the same thing on the opposite side. Like you can't shoot yourself in the foot. We cannot have special teams mistakes, which has obviously been an issue all year long. And I think that so that's a big one for me, is just like something that Michigan struggled with up until the Maryland game. Really, it was like, okay, teams would give you opportunities and then you didn't take advantage of it. So that's a huge one. The other thing to your point is, you have to get to them early, whether it's getting to Julian Sand, hitting him, getting him off his kilter. You can't you got to stuff them on a 3rd and 2 when they try to run it up the gut one time. You have to get them early because I want them to feel the pressure that they felt in this rivalry for the past 4 years, where if we go up 7-0 in this game, they're going to start feeling it. They all get tight on that sideline. It starts with Ryan Day and it continues on. And then it's Julian Sand, who's never played in this game before, and guys start getting tight. That's where Michigan can win this game.
And it doesn't even need to be Michigan up. Right, like you were there in 22. You probably felt it when it was 10-3 and they weren't moving the ball and Michigan was getting off the field and they started to tense up. Right, so yeah, I'm with you in terms of the getting there early. I think if Michigan's able to get some hits or maybe even get a sack or two in the first quarter on Sand, which is gonna be tough because they haven't given up a lot of sacks. But if you can have a guy make a play in the game, right, that type of play, and we've seen that over the years. From Michigan players, from Ohio State players, like you're just elevated. Your play is elevated, right? Your effort is up there. So if you could just, a Derek Moore or a Barham could find a way to hit Sand, just speed up his internal clock a little bit, get them off rhythm. Like that's going to be important in my opinion. So, that was something that happened to Will Howard last year, right? Like Makari Page comes down, hits him. He's maybe a little dinged up. His shoulder's hurt, whatever. Like that affects the way guys play football.
Yeah, and like obviously, I want to make it clear that we're not trying to injure guys. Like
no. I'm just talking about clean hits. Right?
I know.
I
know that you are. I'm making it clear here in case this gets clipped somewhere.
It's football, baby.
Yeah, it's football. You want to hit him, get him off his game. I think that makes a huge difference for a young guy. I mean, he is very, very accurate. If you can just break up those things by half a split second, that changes things, right? And so I'm all about that. I think that the same thing on offense. If we can just get a little like push, I go back to Joel Honingford telling us in 2021 after the 2021 game where they lined up after a certain point in that game, and he could see it in their eyes that they didn't want to be there. That they were just gonna be able to push them around, and that was like that's the difference, right? That's the mental part in this game. And so if Michigan's offensive line and defensive line can get that, where it's like I think their defensive line has had pretty much nobody push them around all year, right? If you can get a little bit going and just, that's where Max Bredesen, he did it to Caleb Downs actually when he was at Alabama in that game in the Rose Bowl and just like pancaked him. Like those little things where guys are like, oh shit, this team is here to play. Like those little mental advantages are where I think Michigan has had the advantage over the past 4 years. And you have to have that on Saturday.
Yeah, man. I think over the last 2 or 3 years, a guy that now plays for the Lions, Tyleik Williams, is one of the biggest parts of what they did defensively. And I know they've got some guys, Caden McDonald, I think, is a kid that Michigan recruited pretty heavily. Caden Curry, he's the kid that after he committed right after the game at 21 said Michigan, that won't happen again. It's happened 3 times for him. So, let's see if they can make that a 4th. But they've got some guys up front for sure. Like look, it's Ohio State. They're always going to get talent. So yeah, I think for Michigan, it's just trying to win the mental game, win that edge, and just execute, man. Like we've seen bits and pieces. I think we saw a lot more of it come together against Maryland. Now, can you do it against Ohio State, right? When it comes to the offense and defensively, can Wink call another fantastic game? That's going to be my 2 biggest things I'm thinking about going into the game.
I mean, he did it last year, and just unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Nobody predicted it. Last thing I'll say here, where this game is won or lost, this one is on us, this crowd. I think if this Michigan crowd is like it was in 2021 and 2023, then I think it gives Michigan a significant advantage. We talked about it going into the game in 2021. It just like shit felt different. And then in 2023, it was like, we felt like we were confident. And I don't think that we felt that pre-2020, right? Like even at home, you never felt like you had the advantage. You were just hoping for something to happen that day. And so, the moment AJ Henning scored in 2021, you just kind of knew. And I feel like you need the crowd to be in it and to give Michigan an advantage in that way as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just ready for the game, man. I see all the talk and stuff, but I don't really engage in that anymore. Like I went through my Twitter, like I don't tweet much anymore. Like I just kind of read Twitter and that's about it.
You're
so I'm just, yeah, man. I used to be active, and then people like tweeting me about my job and stuff. I was like, all right, that's weird. So I'm just gonna keep it. If I ever have anything to say, I always tweet it from the Blue by 90 account. So sometimes that's me talking shit on there, and you don't even know it. You think it's Justin, but it's me. But I'm just ready for this game. I'm ready to watch the boys. Like I said on the last podcast, if you didn't hear that, like go early, go support the seniors. This is their last time, in the regular season at Michigan Stadium, and maybe there'll be another game in a few weeks. But this is their last time at the Big House, man. That's something special. Guys that have spent 4 years, 5 years, won a national championship. Go support them. Go cheer for them, and yeah, man, that's about all I've got. I've got one question for you, if you have anything else, but this is kind of off topic, but on topic with the time of the year that it is.
Go for it.
What is your, like, if you had to pick like a starting 5 of Thanksgiving food, what are you going with?
All right. Well, we went with sides the other day, right?
Yep. Just like a plate, you get 5 choices, and you know what? We'll consider gravy, and like if you want cranberry sauce, I'm not into that. But if you want that,
okay,
that's not going towards your allotted 5 items.
Okay. I feel like this is a little bit going against the grain because people, even us on the last podcast, talk of a little bit of like against turkey, But I'm definitely going turkey number 1. I think it's a staple. It's a tradition. I definitely do that.
Yep.
Are we going snake draft? You going now, or do you want me to just?
No. It can be the same. Just put together your 5.
Okay. My 5 is so turkey, definitely mashed potatoes and gravy. I said cheesy potatoes the other day for sure. I think I would definitely I would grab that green bean casserole 100%. Yep. I'm not going cranberry sauce. Like,
okay. I don't know. I'm not into that either. So I don't know where, like,
I really like, that's never been a thing. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Definitely stuffing. Okay. Yep. So is that 4?
I think that's 5, right?
Turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing,
Green bean casserole.
green bean casserole, and cheesy potatoes.
Yeah, it's 5. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm also going turkey. I'm not with the turkey slander, to be honest. But I'm gonna douse it in gravy because it's a little dry. Like I might be looking like Clark Griswold out here trying to drink the gravy with it. So I might, you know what, this might be boring because I might go similar to you, but I'm going turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing with the gravy on it, the green bean casserole. And I was going to do a dessert, but I didn't tell you that. So I was going to go pecan pie.
Okay, that's fair. I like that. That's a good plate. That's a great plate. My wife, who's listening from the other room, just texted me also with a great addition, a good roll. Like a really like a warm roll with butter during that. Like I don't even know where my mom gets the rolls, but they're like we only get the rolls for Thanksgiving. This is also a funny thing of holiday food where it's like, if we like it so much, like why do we only eat it once a year?
Well, because then I think it's like the game. Like you would just ruin,
special,
right? You just you have it so many times. Like it's not. Like that's why the Yankees Red Sox rivalry to me doesn't mean much. I don't care unless it's in the playoffs, right? Because it's like it happens 18 times at home and away. Yeah. But hey, man, maybe she's got a deal. Maybe she's going to like Gordon Food Service. I know that's maybe she's hit up Texas Roadhouse. I don't know if they're like,
they're not. There's very specific role.
Okay.
I actually think that you might be right with the Gordon Food Service.
Yeah, that's a lot of that'll answer a lot of questions people have about like where does food come from? Like probably GFS
in Michigan for sure. That's for sure. All right. Well, that's a good plate. Yeah. I mean, we've got. Let's see, Thursday, Friday. We wake up Saturday morning. I might not sleep Friday night. You never know. And the game is here. So I'm pumped, man. This is gonna be fun. Honestly, here's another thing. Last thing I'll leave you with too is just like, I think this is something that we take for granted a little bit as Michigan fans. Is like, it's pretty freaking awesome that the whole country watches us on Saturday, right? Like that
cares about this game.
It is the main focus at noon on the last weekend, of November, every single year. And so I think that like, to your point, even in the Iron Bowl, like I'll be honest, like I watch it when it's huge, but it's not like I got to dial in. Meanwhile, in 2023, I think this game had like 19 million viewers. Like that's absurd, right? So I think it's just pretty cool that like, it's an all or nothing game, right? Most of the time it's something that is like, it's an awesome tradition. So I'll leave you with that. Anything else that you want to add?
No, man, just ready to watch the Lions, ready to be in the big house, ready to be at the tailgate. Just one last time this year, maybe December 19th or 20th. There's something going on. Who knows?
Maybe.
But last guaranteed time in Ann Arbor this year for football tailgate. And it always goes so quick, but always a blast. I love just doing the podcast the last, 3 years, whatever it is now. I think it's 3 seasons now. It's just been a blast, man. And I love this thing, and I love Michigan football, and it's just been a lot of fun. So let's hope they go out there, play their ass off. I know they will. And let's just, see what happens.
I love it. All right. For us, you can follow us at Blue by 90 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Blue by 90 Podcast on YouTube, and BlueBy90.com. We appreciate you. Go Blue.
Go Blue.